lovelies! Welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to show you how to do some half-up double Dutch braids. These braids are one of my favorite styles to do on short hair. And they're super cute and elegant at the same time. If you don't already know how to Dutch braid, check out our video linked down below. So this style works best if you have her hair parted in the middle, so the braids on either side will be even. But if you do want to part her hair on either side, that could work too. I'm going to do her right braid first, so I'm going to pick up a small section at the front of her hair and divide it into 3 pieces. Now I think this style looks the cutest if instead of the braid going straight back, we kind of angle it out, around, and then back in to tie with the other braid. So I'm going to start by angling the braid out this way, like I was doing an accent braid. The way to do this is when you're adding hair on the right side, pull the braid a little more over to the right, and when you're adding the hair on the left side, they will have to go further into the braid, which will make the braid slowly angle out. And now that we're about halfway towards the back of her head, I'm going to start curving this braid back around and aiming for the part line on the crown of her head back here. To do this, I'm going to do the opposite of what I was doing earlier. I'm going to make this hair have a shorter part into the braid and pull this hair further. And now we're at the crown of her head back here, so this braid is ready to be tied off. I'm going to braid this one down a little more so it'll be easier to tie off. And now it's just easier to put a hair tie in it without all this hair accidentally getting pulled in. Now if you take the braid and hold it up while you tie it off, it'll be a lot easier to not have any hair pulled in that will make it tangle. So now we're ready to do the same braid on the left side. As we're braiding this left side, we really want to try and mirror this right side so that when you have both braids they look uniform and you don't have one that kind of looks all wonky. And split into 3, and I'm going to angle it down this way, and I'm just going to try to go to the same part on the head that I was on this side. So now I can see right now this braid right now is looking a lot smaller than it was on this side, so I'm going to start taking bigger sections to even that out, to make it look more of the size that this one is. And now we're about halfway to the back of the head, as well as we're almost at the point where this braid started curving back around, so I'm going to also start curving this braid back around. So now that we're back at the crown at the same spot, I'm again gonna braid this one down a little more to make it easier to tie off. And now we're ready to connect these braids. To connect these braids, you can either use a hair tie or some sort of scrunchie. The reason we braided them down a little bit, even though we're going to connect them up here, is that now that we have both braids braided down, it's much easier to connect them the way we want, and we don't have to worry about holding the braids while we're tying them off. So you're just going to want to pull the braids together. You can overlap them a little bit if you want, and I'm going to tie them basically where her part ends on the crown of her head right here. And then we can see this is popping up a little bit. I'm going to pin that down after I tie them off. So now that this is secured, I'm going to go ahead and take out the two hair ties that were holding the braids. And it looks like the bump was actually resolved by the way the braid sat, so we don't need any bobby pins, but if you do, now would be the time you can go ahead and pin down any bumps. So here are your half up double Dutch braids.
Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and come back next Friday for another hair tutorial.
Bye!